What is up, guys? What is up? My name is Jacko, and ignore the tweaking screen. Ignore that, please. We are here for a brand new series. We are here for Final Fantasy II for the NES. Let's just throw that up here real quick. So, this is a celebration of I am now in my new house. I have spent a couple nights here finally. Spent all of Saturday night moving. Didn't finish till like 3 in the morning. And now that we're at a new house, I figure it is a really big milestone. And one of the things that I would like to do to kind of celebrate that milestone here is to kind of start where, kind of do something at where this channel started. I believe the first game I ever played on this channel was the original Final Fantasy. Yeah, yes, it was. It was the original Final Fantasy. So it almost feels like, new house, new me. Might as well bring it back to where we started as like a nice little like life step achievement. Like, you know what? We're in a new house. Let's start off by doing something big. And by big, I mean back where we started. So make sure, guys, if retro games are the thing that you like, make sure you guys subscribe. We have plenty going on here. We just finished Metroid 2 Return of Samus for the Game Boy. I did both a blind run and a like replay run that are all just under the blind playlist, so go check that out. Because I wanted to, I played it for the first time, and then it was like, okay, now go ahead and just play it, like knowing where to go, zoom. So I did that. I got Pokemon Red. It's not a blind play. I already did that. Now I'm just kind of playing and kind of getting a feel for what I want, because I'm going to be doing a Nuzlocke soon. That's probably soon, relatively speaking. That's probably going to be in like 9 months from now. But, relatively soon, in the near future, we're going to do my first Nuzlocke. So we're playing Pokemon Red to kind of a second time to get us some practice in there, which is good because I need it. And then also we play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest while talking about media. So, we have a little of that, but nobody really watches those, so feel free to not watch those. But we're here for Final Fantasy II. So let's get started. In a far-off land, a long peace has ended. The Paramekian Empire has summoned Hellspawn in hopes to rule the world. The people of Fynn fought bravely for their kingdom and lost. Now 4 of Finn's youth must flee to Altia, with the enemy just behind. And there we go. I'm gonna assume like the last game. Okay, excuse you. Okay, cool. I can just... Alright, next. There we go. Oh, I just had to hit the arrows. Alright. We'll see what 8 does. Alright. Now, I have played this game... way back in the day, I used to have Final Fantasy Origins for the PlayStation 1. And I remember it having, like, remakes of Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2 on there. And, I remember playing Final Fantasy 2 a good deal. Not, like, a lot, but, like, a good deal. Like, I think I got at least, like, 6-7 hours into the game, I have to imagine. So I do know that this game is kind of like the black sheep of the family in that this game doesn't have a classic leveling up system. This does, honestly, what's more of like a modern RPG style where the more you use items and the more you use spells, the more you level up that given spell. So, if you use knives, your knife skill goes up. If you use swords, your sword skill goes up. Your heal spell stat goes up. It's got a bunch of stuff like that. So I'm not actually sure what is the correct way here. Now that was Firion. I don't know how to say it. Sounds very Hispanic almost. This guy's name is Leon, I believe. The original Leon. This is Maria. I looked up all these names. I kind of remembered them from when I was younger. But, you know, I just wanted to make sure. These are probably like the Americanized spellings of them. And then this is Guy. Guy Sensei! I think in America they called it, in the Final Fantasy Origins, they called him Gus. Now already, the amount of difference looking at this compared to the first game is like almost mind-blowing. The background takes up the entirety of the screen now. Everybody's moves are much smoother, and we're getting our ass beat for sure. Yeah, this game starts off with, you cannot win. Can't even hit these guys. Boof. I don't remember this game's music being heralded as too good. This game really does get shit on. And I mean, I get it. It's like, it's a bit different of what's traditionally done with the series. I get it. Alright, but it's been a while since we've played a good JRPG where, like, we had to read a lot. What was the last one we played? Because Pokemon doesn't really count. Pokemon is Pokemon. 1 second. Okay, yeah, it's been a good, like, almost year since I've played a good JRPG with some decent dialogue. Because, or no, Golden Sun was going on around the time with Dragon Ball. So, no, it's been a little bit less. It's been about 6 months. But still, like, you know, because, sure, I play Pokemon, but, you know, everything is, like, in that game is like, yeah, the friendship with the Pokemon. And, like, that's all the dialogue the entire time. So, you know, that is what it is. And then you got, before that I played, you know, what was it, Super Mario RPG, and that game is a whole lot of like, wow, you're Mario! Like, a whole bunch of that shit, a whole bunch of Toad voice going on. So, you know, this is the first time that I feel like, since Golden Sun, where we're playing, like, a JRPG that might have proper dialogue. But even then, this is like, now, it's a translation. This game never actually released in America as Final Fantasy II, which is a goddamn shame. You know, it is what it is. I get that role-playing wasn't the biggest genre in America at the time, but, you know, fucking whatever. Alright. Will he survive? Yes, it'll be long before he regains consciousness. Oh, it'll not be long before he regains consciousness. He has a strong life force. I found him as I was fleeing Fynn, unconscious and covered in blood. Save him. I've amplified his life force. Now let's let him be for now. You're right, we should get going. Everybody's waiting for us at the meeting. If the Empire completes their warship at Bofsk, we'll stand no chance against them. Is this like genuine plot going on here? Compared to the first game, this is like plot. Leon, Maria, Guy Sensei. Therian, you're alive. Where's Leon? You were rescued by the Princess of Fynn, but Leon hasn't been found yet. It's alright, I'm sure he's alive. Oh, he's alive. Way back a long time ago, like early days of YouTube, I remember watching, I think it was H.C. Bailey. I watched him do each of the three, what's it called? Each of the three main generations of Final Fantasy. So I remember way back when I had watched through all of them. The original Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I remember watching him on his channel. So, like, I kind of ish know what's, like, the general of what's going on. Obviously, Final Fantasy 3 for the NES, I remember the least. Final Fantasy 5, I remember the least. And Final Fantasy 8, I remember the least. But that's also because I don't really like Final Fantasy. At least I didn't when I played it. So you've recovered. Good. Princess, please, let us fight with your rebel army against the Empire. Oh, that was fast. Settle down. In your current state, you'd only be throwing your lives away. We've got nothing else to live for. Our families, our homes, gone. I'm sorry. Well, you may stay here in Altea if you wish. Remember, the Wild Rose is the crest of Finn and the secret password of our rebel army. Okay, yeah, here you have to learn shit. Alright, so I learned Wild Rose. So to a lot of characters you can see, you can use that to get like additional dialogue from people. Your destiny will be intertwined with mine. I can feel it. First head towards Finn. Now I believe it's pretty easy to tell who you need to say things to. Oh yeah, it'll actually prompt you when to do it. To the east is the port city of Palm, but a large lake blocks the way. You could get there if you had a canoe, though. Cool. Cool canoe. Coo cachoo. Finn Castle has been taken by the Empire. Their monsters are all over the place. Gotcha. Move. Okay, if I could get it correct. Alright, so let's see if we can find any goodies in this castle. This is the king's room. He was critically injured by the Empire's soldiers. Oh, the pain. My daughter Hilda will tell you everything. Ooh, the king has no idea what Wild Rose is. Interesting. So what you're saying is the king ain't with the shits. Alright, sometimes lanterns in Final Fantasy games are sneaky things. Not here, though. This game looks much better than the last one. But yeah, no, it was pretty wild yesterday. Because yesterday was, we were done moving on Saturday, but yesterday, because today's Monday, when I recorded this, so yesterday on Sunday was the day that we still had to go back at the old house and still get a couple of things. But, you know, most of our stuff had already been taken. We had like one more carload of stuff really left to grab. And, you know, it was definitely a really like bittersweet moment. Altea's Rebel Base. Kashuan's Prince Gordon is here in Altea. Seems he's lost his confidence though. Oh really? But it was kind of nice. I had a moment with like everybody, other than girlfriend number 2, because she was working this whole weekend at a convention. So I haven't seen her since like last week. Princess Hilda fled here to Altea when Finn was seized. She took control of the rebellion when the king was fatally wounded. Oh Jesus, a ninja. I'm Paul. Hey, I'm Paul, the world's greatest thief. There's nothing I can't steal. Wild Rose, I never steal from rebels. My hometown of Finn was invaded. Oh. My name is Gordon, late Prince of Ketch. Late Prince? Are you considering yourself dead? Now I'm just a lowly coward. My clan is fled from Kashuan, but my brother Scott was captured by the Empire. Bro, fine. Be lame. I'll probably have you in my party later. Because I remember, like, we have our 3 party members, and throughout this game we get various 4th party members that kind of loop throughout. I know Leon comes on your team at some point as a 4th party member. But yeah, no, Saturday night there was a time where I was like, I had the baby on my shoulders and we were just kind of going room by room and saying bye-bye to the house, just, you know, just running around with her and being silly. And I had gone into the basement and, you know, to say bye-bye in there, and the baby saw the cat and said bye-bye to the kitty. And that moment hit me really hard. Like, I definitely had a moment where I cried in the basement and was like, holding my daughter, was like, this is where I met you. Like, this is where I found out that, you were coming into this world, was in this house. And, she's only a year old, but like, all my memories of her so far. Obviously you make memories wherever you go, but it's like, all of my memories are located in that little place. Paul may be a thief, but he only steals from the Empire. What the fuck is this? I can't use this. Cool. But, I definitely had that moment. Then I also had that with my son because, my son looked upset. This was yesterday. And, he looked upset. I asked him, like, are you sad? And he told me he was. And obviously for him, I understand that as well. Every memory that he contains within him is from that house. 400 Gil. So, it's not like he's, that house is everything he's already known. He's always known. And he definitely likes the new house, but, I could tell he was sad. And, I basically told him the same thing, except obviously he's older. So, I had a moment with him as well where it was like, this is, I'm going to miss this house. This is where I learned how to be your dad. And this is where I first, like, really met you. Like, yeah, I met him before they moved in, but they moved in really early into our relationship. And just because, Mama's parents were fucking terrible, so I brought her in with me. And, it was, thinking of my son, thinking of just my son. I had a moment with my daughter that was just my son. It's like, this is where I brought you into my home. You were so little. He used to have these little pirate boots that back then, like, they were way too big for him, so they, like, went up to his kneecaps. And he wore those. He loved those boots, and he wore them until they were, like, shrunken on his feet, and he was too big to wear them anymore. And, same thing. It was like, that's where it all happened. And it was almost something that, like, yes, it was honestly, it was surreal. We'll finish talking. Tabul is our blacksmith. He can make great tools, but lately he's been in hiding. Huh. Weird. A blacksmith in hiding. I'm the rebels' best blacksmith. Okay, so what do you do? So you're just hiding and there's nothing I can do with that? Alright. Cool, I don't know if I want any of these. Well, I know I'm probably going to get a knife for at least the main guy. But because of the mechanic of this game, I'm not even sure how I want to even, like, attempt to handle this. Or even how my, oh god, learning, like, thinking of, like, oh, who can use what armor? Like, oh, I gotta get into, like, full-on RP jizzle mode. That sounded way worse than it needed to sound. Empire hasn't attacked Altea yet, thankfully. That sounds like this town's gonna be attacked. For real. But, not to be admitting to crimes or anything, but, Mama really, I've talked about it, she at some point in the recent past was on house arrest because she had been, cool, let's see. Alright, let's give her that she can't wear, or a buckler doesn't go there. Alright, she can't wear any of those, but she's got a helmet. She's using a bow, so... Oh wait, no, head. Alright, he can wear the buckler. Alright. What do you got on you? You got a broadsword on you already, and a buckler on you. Okay, so you need a helmet. Never mind, they already come with a little bit of stuff. This makes it a little bit easier. But, I've talked about, the one girl I dated in my past who was, like, the woman I dated for 5 years. A record that Mama here is going to be breaking real soon. Yeah, for me and her, it was, like, 5 years and, like 3 months. So like she's gonna hit that by the start of next year. But it was a surreal experience because I saw her yesterday because Mama's not supposed to be driving, but she had to. So, and she is a safe driver. I stuck right behind her and made sure that nothing happened. Did I really get poisoned right away? This is... Ooh, poison wears off? Yo. Cool. Both. But, ooh, yeah, they add sound effects to them dying now. Fuck yeah. Yeah, flee. But I saw her pulling out of a neighborhood, and it was around the ish area where her it was around the area where her parents lived. Ooh, that's cool. And I recognized her, and I recognized the vehicle. Like, I used to drive that thing all the fucking time. Like, I recognized it, and it was like such a stoner moment, and it was so surreal because she's in front of me in the next over lane, and Mom is right in front of me. So I have the literal two most, as far as relationship wise go, the literal two most important women who've been involved in my life directly driving in front of me, literally right next to each other at a certain point. And it was the most like on the nose representation of watching like the two paths of my life. So like the moment I had with Mama later on at the house was me cracking a tear with her, where it was the same thing. It was like how do I save? Okay, I can only save on the world map. Okay, I can dig it. Cool. Back when you had to hold the restart button to turn the power off. Bro, only the real OGs know about that. But I had the same moment with her where it was like, just literally seeing the two people in my life in front of me, where it's like, think of where you were when she left you. You were a depressed, sobbing mess. You were about to be homeless. Everything was about to go wrong for you in your life at that point. And that was only... I think one of the last times we ever, slept with each other was sometime in, the winter-ish. But we had been talking on and off a little bit here and there. And you know, we had slept together a couple times. I think sometime in the winter we had gone out to eat together. We had gone to like the Cheesecake Factory or some shit like that. Came back, had sex, had a good night. But you could feel it that was going to be the last time that we were going to like see each other in that way. Actually, I think the last thing we ever did with each other was basically she came over and gave me basically what was dance lessons. And that was actually, I honestly think that was the last thing we ever did with each other. Was we had a time where we just played music in my apartment, and I had a Bluetooth speaker, and we just played music and danced with each other. And I think that was the last thing we ever did. So, you know, I think about where I was at that point in my life. And I think of, you know, how far everything fell and how much everything crumbled apart. And then, you know, I had the woman who was in front of me now who, you know, had given me 2 kids. You know, one of my own and one, you know, obviously not. But, you know, obviously that doesn't even come close to mattering. But, you know, she did all that. And, you know, it really makes me miss that house, because it's like, you know, I look around and I think that, you know, I came so far, and I have come so far in my life because of her. And, you know, it was all the decision I made when, you know, I found out she was riding her kid to, you know, daycare in the winter on her bike. And I said, no, fuck that, you're staying with me. And, you know, I think of, you know, all that whole house is like everything that we went through. And, you know, we've gotten into a lot of fights, you know, especially with her being pregnant and everything. And, you know, it's real rough. It makes me really sad to think about that time in my life is over at that house. But, you know, we make memories wherever we go, right? And, you know, I'll have just as many happy memories here as I did over there. So, you know, that's it for today, guys. We didn't get started very much here. This is me being a little bit sentimental, but next time we're going to grind a little bit, try to make sure we get a good amount of stats boosted, a little bit of skills that everybody has, get those on the up and up, buy some spells, because I'm going to want some spells, and we'll go see about this. I think Palm was the name. I heard Palm and Bafsk. Those are the 2 names of places that I heard. So those are the 2 places we're going to find. Oh, wait, I think one of them needed a canoe. We'll figure it out next time. Peace.